Well, what's the crack? Today we're back. We're looking at using Seer here. This is definitely a legend I've used before. I actually thought this challenge would be a lot easier than it was, but you'll see later on throughout the video it definitely wasn't. What we're going to be looking at here is how to utilize Seer, particularly his Q and his ultimates, and how to use him in terms of pace and play, because he is one of the slower legends to use. We'll also talk about how Seer fits into the meta in Season 22 with all of the changes, and hopefully it's going to be an interesting one because in my opinion he really is going to be back and arguably as good as he was upon launch. Enjoy the next minute worth of clips and I'll catch you at the end of it and we'll go through all of this in more depth. In about 40 seconds you're going to see why this took me more than 2 hours to record, and this isn't just because the lobbies have been hard. See you in 45.
Two hours later.
So here we go, teammates decided to land a little bit further away from all of the action in pubs, which look sometimes is absolutely fine. We actually get a win in this game here, so it does tend to get a little bit slow points and I'll cut through that, but just for the purpose of this video we'll keep in a little bit of it as well. So yeah, let's talk about Seer. It was extremely broken on launch, as you remember absolutely everyone was using them, probably just as bad as Horizon. It was basically free wall hacks. It was Apex's way to combat cheaters technically because hey, everyone had wall hacks. Since then he's been nerfed quite a bit, but has found his place in comp again, particularly since the Bloodhound nerf. He's been really useful, particularly just in terms of countering any of the smokes and bang and stuff like that because of his ult. And his Q, although it's a bit weaker now that all it does really is silence enemies, it does help, particularly in straight up 3v3 gunfights. You'll see that throughout the video here, just some samples of it and how it works itself. With all of the changes that are coming now with Season 22, particularly towards Recon Legends, the fact that actually the dude scan is going to scan every 5 seconds, and it's going to scan I think between 3 and 5 times, I can't remember exactly what it is. This really makes you very, very powerful. Particularly this new recon scan thing, or game sense I think they're calling it, or something along the lines of that. This makes him even more powerful, particularly because you can hit the scan already and then you hit his Q and you can see the person. Yeah, it's just going to be totally broken, particularly when you see them with the ult. If this works through smoke, he's going to be absolutely ridiculous. You'll see him in every single team in ranked, a combination of him and Bang, and probably then one of your normal legends that you'd usually see, so that could be Conduit or Rev, even maybe Lifeline if the rework isn't done, which I don't think is going to happen. But yeah, super excited to see how it works. The new season looks really, really good. New map looks brilliant. Looks like a better Olympus, which I'm really happy about because I absolutely hate Olympus. So yeah, leave a comment down below if you're excited about Season 22. This will be the first one from launch now that I'm going to be fully with, so super happy to see how I can do and hopefully be able to drop Diamond again this season, which will be unreal. So here we go, got a 3v3 up here, drop the ult so that we know if anyone's coming in. Some good shots here on the Revenant, just healing up here behind this. Teammates pushing on the left hand side trying to cover over the res. and I can see that the last guy on the team is down low here now. Can also hear that he's sticking the res, so we're not going to give him the chance. We're going to slide and jump over this, and there we go. Nice easy one with the Havoc. I really like the one-time solo on it. It's really useful. Just checking here now. I wasn't sure if that nade was my teammates or a third party, so we're just looking around here now. Once we're finished looting, I'm going to throw a few scans up just with this passive to make sure that we're not getting pushed. I went for the plus 1.5 focus on this here just to silence enemies a little bit longer and basically takes them out of fight. So really helpful in situations when you're under a bit of pressure. Teammates now are ready to move. I'm just taking an extra bit of energy because I end up flying through it all the time. I'm just prepping a little bit here with the R99. I know it's going into the care package, so that's really good, but it will run out of ammo very fast. So that's the only thing. But in late game, that gun is going to absolutely fry people. Both the shotguns as well. I've done a series before using Maggie, and I think Maggie is going to be absolutely ridiculous. There's both the shotguns, particularly those dual wheel Mosams. The speed boost that you get using Maggie, the Warlord's Ire, is going to be crazy. So keep an eye out on her. Definitely going to be a sleeper pick for rank next season. But anyway, back to Seer. I've used him before. Really enjoyed him back in the day. He was super broken, so was really easy to use. A little bit different now the way he's played. Not as easy to use. That's why this video took me about maybe a day and a half of playing to try and actually get some content. So that, and the fact that I was playing absolutely terribly, and I do all of these just so you know by solo queue. I don't have a set team that I'm working with here, so it is entirely dependent on how I suppose my teammates are and how I'm playing myself. So that's an unfortunate matter, this, but here we go with 4 teams left. We have a respectable amount of kills and an assist, so we'll hope to finish this out with a nice little dub. Just going to take some height here, just cover over my teammates because I can see they're pushing high on this scan.
Replenishing my shields.
They've spotted me up on height here. Triple take, which is a super annoying gun, is just peppering me. So these guys are really keen, but having height here is obviously super helpful for us. We'll have just better angles on them, and one of our guys can work down low, hopefully get a pick. So teammates fighting really well here. I'm just trying to spray some shots, do a small bit of damage where I can. Not really much use up here, particularly my ults and tac. They're not very helpful here, but the passive is. I can see now that there's a guy down below us here somewhere. Can see him crossing here. Get a couple of shots off on him, crack him. Hopefully teammates able to get a bit more damage, but their third is actually just covering over him. So bit of a tough fight for us here, but hopefully we're expecting a third party to come in and take these because our positioning here is really good. Wraith is after queuing back around the corner, so we have a little bit of a second or two here just to stabilize. Yep, and as we expected, here comes the third. So this should allow us to walk up a little bit higher and maybe get an extra couple of KP here. I've identified this, teammates have as well, and we're going to walk up together here on this. So I'm getting cues to my right, I can hear the audio. That's why I'm pinging this here. So we've got a team on the left and a team on the right. So our rotation out here, as you can see, looking at the top left in the zone, might be a little bit tricky. But if we're patient here, hopefully they can do a bit of damage to each other and we can wrap around. Sometimes it's really important to play patient, even in pubs, because you can just walk yourself into a lot of death. I didn't know this was an out of bounds. So back down I go.
This way, perhaps.
Taking fire. Firing. Charging shields. Come on. Listen close for the overheat.
I'm going to watch this area.
We're in the next ring. The positioning is only half the battle.
So just on my peripheral here, I've actually seen a team on the left as well. They're trying to actually wrap around behind us, so they've disengaged from that fight, and they're going to try pinch us from the far side. I've identified this, and I've informed my teammates that we need to dip a little bit further back, just so they can't get the wrap. Best position for us here to be is going to be on these rocks ahead of us, just so we have some headies to work with, and should be able to get some free shots down on them. The fact that they're coming from zone, and it's zone 3 as well, they should be under a lot of pressure. Yeah, so one's on height. Get some really nice shots on him. He's literally about 4 HP. Our teammate's in a bit of a bad situation. But he's dropped down. I know he's super weak, so I can push this. Again, not overextending too much. I can see him here. He's got a shield off. But again, he was literally a whiff away from that. I think our teammates are duos because they've actually helped each other out here, which was really good. And somehow they haven't been thirded. So we don't have a free row in here. So we're just trying to work a bit of cover. And we identified that it's probably the best place to go to the right hand side here. But again, if this team is clever, they should be able to cut off that rotation and not let us into zone for free. Just hitting the Q here just to make sure that no one's covering us and trying to cross around that corner and get shots into our back. Teammate makes a really, really good play here. Covers it with the smart bullet and then drops us a nice evac tower. I hit the ult just to make sure that they're not pressing in across. Can see that they're just behind the wall. Again, Seer is just super useful for this. It is basically wall hacks. Although it's very, very slow wall hacks. His teammates are rotating even further right. And here's the evac tower, which is going to help us rotate over them and give us best position for end zone.
Enough dawdling, children. The ring moves, and we aren't in it. Only look at here. Don't let a good thing go.
Yep, so that team's already rotated, but we've actually got better position here. So they're still barely in zone. And judging by it, it's going to pull further towards us. Teammates have put them in the building here, and they're pretty much locked in. From here, should be a very straightforward end game. Just separate the two of them when we can, and get some free knocks. Teammates also got a Devo, which is GG. Just firing in an arc star and a nade, so just hopefully split them out a little bit. Just waiting for me Q, still have 10 seconds left on it unfortunately. That's the one thing, it is a little bit slow to come back, but I suppose he'd be totally broken if it wasn't. So just hitting the Q, silence the enemy, and this guy's been hit with a smart bullet as well. Teammates push left here, thankfully that team hasn't identified that. They're not sending him because if they did, we'd end up in a 2v2. Teammate makes the good call, drops back a little bit. Now they're isolated. So they've split themselves off here pretty badly. So I can queue this now. Basically leave him as a sitting duck. But in fact both of them are in here. So I'm thinking about overextending here. But judging by the zone, I don't think it's a good idea. I'll end up doing what my team almost did. So working as a team, we're just playing patient. We're making them shift right and left as much as we can without letting them take space. So we've now wrapped right. I see that the Lobe is trying to queue out. Queued out into zone for some reason. I've missed every bullet and it's left me in a 1v1. Really good shots on the Watson here. Super weak. And a straightforward 1v1 for all the marbles. Come over the top, 8 bullets left, and dead. And that's a GG. Really good teammates this game.
Another day, another victory for the OG. Taking down the sweats, the imposters among us.
did in fact take down the Sweats. And now we'll move on to game number 2. So we're on Kings Canyon here. Seer doesn't really have a map that he works better than the others in. Kind of all the same. His skill set doesn't really lead to him being better on one map or the other. He's kind of just all around decent. See third party here down at containment. This is standard practice in pubs. It's where 6 of the teams that are dead were. So I can see here now, here's a great example. I could literally see this coming up around the corner. So I pre-aim, get some good shots off. And teammate finishes off the knock because I missed half my mag. Again, just clearing my teammates. Scene 1, 2 are actually jumping on him. So we're going to help out here. To my own peril. Good shots on the lifeline. She's literally 1 HP. Teammate again gets the knock on it. So happy days. Get a little quick armor swap. Get a little bit of energy back in. And just take height here. And we hear a team hitting the zip. But they've baited it. So it looks like they're probably going to swing this together more than we expected. They've hit the zip. M&K player is absolutely schmoovin'. Got a no reg there on the bullets for some reason, but I was getting double pushed anyway. Teammates are in good position here once we don't get clarity, but he's doing the finisher and nearly gets himself minced, but teammates watching the angle. Team are really good players here. As you can see, I've 4 assists already, but look, once the team is going well, that's all that matters.
I need help.
Seeing if either of my teammates have a med kit they can spare. They don't, so not ideal. Just going to check this box up here. Hopefully it has a little bit more syringes and stuff that I can use. And for some reason, I didn't take them. I'm going to hit the dude scan here just to give him a hand, but I think they already know there's a team pretty close. Yeah, I think I might save my teammate's life here hitting the dude scan. There's actually one on his left, and I don't know if he knew that. Poor old Michelle got bunked. We see that there's another fight happening up to the right here now, and we're going to go in and clean this up as well. Just hit a nice pad. I'm going to get in on this. Just got perp. We're going to increase the attack range. I've thrown an absolutely disgraceful ult here. Good example for you how not to use it. Some okay shots. Just watching over my teammate here. Can see that they're all on this rock and they're all super weak. So some good shots off. One of them is literally 1 bullet. Teammate should be able to finish that off. Some nice shots in the air here, and that's the Octane absolutely bushes. Running over here now, hopefully be able to get a med kit or something along those lines. We got a purple energy mag, which is really nice. Really nice. Definitely makes the Volt a top tier weapon. Just anchoring for my team now while they're pushing. Just making sure we don't get anything from behind. But we do know there's definitely still one more here. Can hear footsteps on the right. Just going to check with the passive. We know that he's on the heady here. And we've got one on the left. That was a really nice Q. And we forced him right and he is in zone. So there's actually 2 here we've just seen. So I'm going to make an executive decision here to dip back. The Octane has done the same. The Bloodhound is extremely keen for kills and he's now 1 bullet. So we'll probably go down here because he will get the med kit off. Exactly. Just using this little stump as a heady. Wrapping around now, going to support my teammate where I can. You can see that he's just here on this. He's also using this as a heady. I'm just trying to put a little bit of pressure on. So I think that's everything. So I push up, try to get my teammate's banner. And it is not for some reason or another. Nice little knock here. And I don't even see this crab walking across in front of me. It's a good thing he can't shoot to save his life. Get a syringe off here while I can. And try get an extra one. And we find a med kit. And we nearly bottle it. But I think we do get it off in time. Something I really need to improve on in this game. Super bad at timing my med kits and my syringes. Have no energy ammo here, which is a problem. So hopefully my teammate can sort me out with a little bit here. And we're going to just res the Bloodhound because he's been playing really well. And I'm sure he would be very mad if we didn't. I really like King's Canyon as a pubs map. It's definitely better than Olympus. Leave a comment down below which of them you prefer, but for me it has to be King's Canyon.
I mean, I'm still good.
Sure.
Could probably do with a heavy mag here as well, but look, beggars can't be choosers at this point. His teammate's going to hit the res. I'm just going to try find a bit of energy ammo here while I have the chance. And just make sure that someone doesn't int us here. Going to craft a little bit of ammo here. This is the handiest thing to do, to be honest. I know I could probably do with an extra bat, but the energy ammo is what I really need here in this case. So that's what I prioritized. Lo and behold, I found a bit on the floor afterwards, which is just very typical. So we hear shots from the right, our teammates getting peppered a little bit. So this is going to be a tough rotation for us. And inevitably it is going to be the end of us. As we close out the video, just to give some insights and some thoughts on Seer. He's in a good position now at the moment. As we go into Season 22, I think he's going to be borderline broken. Come back to me on this one, because I really think the buffs to the Recon Legends are going to make this guy absolutely busted in comp. Not sure as much about pubs, but particularly ranked, I think this guy is going to be integral to teams moving forward. So with that, leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree with me, and I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.